Okay, so in a previous video, I went into detail about how KSI has relinquished his Cruiserweight belt, and that for me there's 10 fighters in the top 10 bracket that I think could be the challengers for that belt. So I went into detail why these people are ranked 1 to 10. I'm going to go through it very quickly, obviously without the detail. So for me, the top 10 in reverse order is Swarms at 10, Ginty at 9, Tristan Ham at 8, King Kenny at 7, JMX at 6, Ashley rak-su at 5, Face Temper at 4, Le'Veon Bell at 3, Salt Papi at 2, and Anthony Taylor at 1. Again, if you want to see why I've rated them that way, please go watch my previous video. I'll put a link in the description, and I'm sure it will be also in the end credits of the video. So that's how I've laid it out, 1 to 10. So the next thought is, okay, you've got your fighters, you've seeded them 1 to 10. What do you do with them to crown the rightful winner, the rightful champion of the Cruiserweight division? And, you know, you could just have 2 of them fight, the winner takes the belt, and then, you know, other people fight, and whoever wins that other one, you know, takes the belt off them. But if you want longevity in Misfits, you want to keep building main events that people care about. If you just have the belt one off in the first event, then no one's really going to care that these other 2 cruiserweights are fighting. Whereas if you have a bit of a tournament style, we say I'm going to say 8 fighters. These 8 fighters are fighting. The top 4 fight each other, and then the 2 that win that fight for the belt in the same style that Kingpin did it. That way, you know, you've then got 3 events that you can run every 3 months. So you can do 3 events that are going to have really good main events, and it's going to have a story behind it that people generally, or hopefully generally, care about. So then the question is, okay, how do you seed them? So in Kingpin, you had them pull out random balls, and the ball said, oh, King Kenny or Gibb versus Austin McBroom and stuff like that. That's random, and then that created randomness. That created fights that could have happened down the line that happened at the beginning, like the Austin McBroom Gibb fight. I don't think that's how you do it in this one, because, for example, I have Tristan Ham at number 8. If you put Tristan Ham against, I don't know, someone like Salt Papi, and they're fighting in March, say that's not fair on him to go straight from his second fight fighting, for me, the number 2 seed. So I've broken it down how other sports have done seeded brackets, and this is how it goes. So I have the number 1 fighting the number 5. I'll go into more detail in a second. The number 2 fighting number 6. Number 3 fighting number 7. Number 4 fighting number 8. Now, I do have a 9 and 10, but a 10-man bracket doesn't fit as well as an 8-man bracket. So this is how I would do it. So as I said, it was 1 to 4 versus 5 to 8. So the number 4 and the number 8 is Temper, 4th seed, Tristan Ham, 8th seed. I think that's a fairly decent fight. Again, I'd like Tristan to get some more experience, but out of the other top 4, Temper is a fight that I feel like he could manage. Temper, he's a southpaw. He's quite lengthy. He's getting a better jab on him. So he is a decent fighter. He's a really decent person that could, stick to his 1s and 2s and beat Tristan Ham pretty handedly. But on the other hand, Tristan has, a bit more power, a bit more explosiveness, and has the unknown factor. Temper's fought 4 or 5 times, so everyone kind of knows how he fights. As much as he's now training with a new trainer for the past couple fights, you can kind of see the way he fights, and you know what you're getting into. Whereas Tristan Ham, he's only had 1 fight that lasted 2 rounds, so it's a bit different. So I think that's a fair fight in my opinion. Temper versus Tristan Ham. The next is the number 3 versus number 7, and that's Le'Veon Bell versus Kenny. Now, I think that would be a really good fight to make. The only thing that I'm slightly concerned with this is that Le'Veon fought at 194 in the Cruiserweight division, and the highest Kenny has fought at the Cruiserweight division is a 180. So to get them to meet in the middle, you're looking at Kenny getting to 187 and Le'Veon getting down there as well, so between 170 and 190, or 185 and 190. It's possible, but that might be too big of a jump. So that's the only one in this list that kind of excuse me, that kind of doesn't fit. Style-wise and like ability-wise, Le'Veon's had 2 fights. Or was it 3 fights? He's had a couple fights. Well, only one on Misfits. He fought that other American football player, and I think he fought Uriah Hall, unless I'm getting confused. So he's had a good few fights. He's got good experience, and obviously Kenny is one of the most active fighters. So Le'Veon's got a bit more size and a bit more height, but Kenny's got a bit more technicality to him. I think on a technical level, that's a good fight. They're in the same division, but it's whether they can actually meet in the middle. The next one is number 2 versus number 6, which is Salt Papi versus JMX. I think that's a similar story. Salt Papi has more experience. You know, he's the best. He's got more fights under his belt. He's a bit more technical than JMX is, but JMX has the height. He's got the reach. You know, he's the bigger person. Arguably could fight at heavyweight. He's the bigger person, whereas Salt has dropped a lot of weight. But if Salt could go up in weight, and again, same story as Le'Veon and Kenny, if Salt could go up in weight and JMX could drop down in weight, I think that's a very good fight to make for the challengers going forward. I think it's a fair fight. None of these fights, I think, are outrageously unfair. I think, as most things are, if it's the number 2 versus number 5, it's going to be weighted towards the number 2, but it's not a 90% chance versus 90-10 that the higher seed's going to win it. I think they're still very fair. So this brings me on to what would be the main event for this initial tournament, which is the number 1 versus the number 5, which is Anthony Taylor versus Rak-su. So this is obviously going to be a rematch because Rak-su's first fight was against Anthony Taylor. And he got knocked down in the first round within 9 seconds, but then went the distance with him like everyone else that fought 80 has gone to the distance with him. I think that's a good fight to make because obviously they fought before. Rak-su's got a lot more experience since then, and I think that's a good fight to make for the rematch. Rak-su's held his own with him already, and now he's coming back for that chance. He should have been the Cruiserweight champion when he beat Kenny, but Kenny didn't have the belt because they stopped working with ICB. So he should have been the Cruiserweight champion to begin with. But Rak-su versus Anthony Taylor would be my main event, which would work. Again, the way I see this going is, you expect Anthony Taylor, Salt Papi to win. So say we got Anthony Taylor, Salt Papi to win, Kenny, Tristan Ham. You'd then put Anthony Taylor versus Kenny, Salt Papi versus Tristan Ham. So again, it'd be whoever was the higher 2 would fight the lower 2, if that makes sense. Because you don't want the 2 best ones, the 2 highest seed, fighting each other very early and knocking each other out when they could be the final fight. So that's how I do it. You might disagree with me. You might think that's a rubbish idea, but that's just where I thought about it. The way I was also thinking about it is that if that happened, you have an event in April, an event in August, an event in December, and the winner of this championship gets the belt, and realistically kind of has the kudos to call out KSI to come back to, if you ever wanted to come back for that Cruiserweight belt. Because once you fought 3 times in the Cruiserweight division, you are undefeated in the Cruiserweight division in that tournament, and then you have the belt, you kind of have the ability to call out KSI. Anyway, that's my opinion. That's just my thought. I'll be rambling on for too long. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like and please subscribe to see more videos like this. I'm doing a video a day in February, hopefully. So just let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.